fucking shit on your guys' face. Okay.
You're shit on my face?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Viva Physical Media. Episode
52.
52.
52 pickup. Pair of jokers.
He's a wild card,
But I'm glad he's in our deck.
let's hope he plays a fair hand.
He'll come up trumps.
If there's not a joker in the pack, and sometimes there is.
Happy New Year, everyone. It is now. I mean, not now when we're filming, but when this comes out,
It's probably going to be 2023.
2023.
Yeah.
I hope it's rad.
I think it's going to be a good year.
I hope it's a good year.
I think so.
I think it will be.
Yeah. It's got to be different from 2022.
Yeah. It will be a little different than 2022. That's
It'll
for
be a
sure.
little different.
This is our end of the year episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be talking about some discoveries, some favorite 2022 releases. We didn't really talk about doing New Year resolutions. Me and Kevin set out some at the beginning of the year. I don't think I did very well on mine though. I think mine were watch more movies off of my watch list. I think I actually did a good job with that.
I know you watched way more new stuff than I watched.
I watched a lot of new stuff. I watched a lot of stuff off my watch list. Another one of mine was to watch stuff that I already owned, and I don't think I did a very good job at that.
Okay.
I still have a shit ton of stuff that I own and have never seen.
I have nothing unseen that I own.
That's good.
But I also don't own very much stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a minimalist.
He's a fake physical media enthusiast. Just kidding. Do you have a movie resolution maybe you'd like to think about for next year?
I would like to try to watch more movies for pleasure this year.
Yeah, you do a
Because
lot of homework.
between the podcast, between The Suspense is Killing Us,
Check out our
between
podcast.
this wonderful show,
Check out our
and
wonderful show.
between those two things
And then screeners you get.
screeners I get and things I have to review,
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of time to watch things for pleasure these days. And so hopefully this coming year I will be able to, instead of looking for movies I have already seen to recommend when we do our picks on this show, movies I have
watches.
watched recently that are new to me.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I would like that. We'll do what we can.
Yeah. Maybe you'll have a little more time this year.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I don't know, resolutions. I didn't think about this until very recently, and I was like, oh shit, maybe we should do some resolutions. Probably, more foreign films, kind of, the bulk of my watches are American or like English speaking films. Some of them are
USA. USA.
And then, keep going with women directors too. And yeah, I'll keep working on stuff I own that I haven't watched, but that'll take a long time, I think. I have a lot of
Good
stuff
luck.
I haven't watched. Thank you. If you guys have any resolutions that you want to email us, viva@scarecrow.com. Let us know your resolutions. Rich, do you have any New Year's film resolutions?
I do not.
Cool. And that's okay.
Classic Rich.
I get what I get and I watch what I watch. No regrets.
I like
Dude,
that.
I love that attitude.
I'm into that. Yeah, for
we
sure.
we had an in-store Dogsmas for the first time.
How did that go?
It went really cool.
We'll show you some of the pictures of the dog,
Yeah, we
the
will.
dog photo booth.
Our coworker Leo created a really cool backdrop with a fake tree that had images from all of the Dogsmas movies, and then we had a bunch of dogs come in and take their picture, and it was really, really cute.
It was beautiful.
It was our first in-store Dogsmas, so I'm sad that Kevin missed it, but
Well, he is dead.
but him and I co-creating Dogsmas, seeing it
R.I.P.
Successfully in store is pretty cool.
Did you guys watch Secret of Santa Claus?
No,
LOL.
because it's probably because I was working and I was like, I just watched.
Thumbs down.
I was like, I just watched those movies. Let's watch other things. We watched Alone for Christmas and another Home Alone, like 2 Home Alone ripoffs.
I saw a picture on Twitter today. Maybe I'll see if I can find this so we can share it. But it was a movie called Bone Alone, and it was like a dog Home Alone knockoff.
It was just like this guy.
No, it's like a little Boston Terrier or something like Home
No,
Alone.
it's Pups Alone, I think is what
Pups
it is.
Alone?
We watched
Okay.
out of the store.
Bone Alone is funnier,
Bone Alone is funnier, but it's
but sounds vaguely
and then
inappropriate.
we watched Santa Stole My Dog or something.
that motherfucker.
All
he
of them
stole
were
your
pretty
dog.
bad. Okay, well, thank you if you've been watching all year.
And
Thanks.
all many years.
All many years. Thank you. If you've been watching since Matt started midway through this year,
Congratulations.
you've been here for half a year.
Has it been half a year?
It's been since August, I
It's
think.
like
right?
7th or 8th episode, something like that. Yeah.
Good job, Matt.
I'm excited.
Good job.
This is one of my favorite things that I get to do.
Oh,
Yeah,
yay.
I love this show. I was an avid viewer before I was the co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. Let's start the show.
Woo!
Mailbag. Okay.
That was good.
Last mailbag of 2022, which you'll see in 2023. We got a few mailbags here, and I'll throw them up on my phone. I'll throw up all over my phone. We got Daniel Hickey emailed us. Oh, and he sent us pictures of his cats, so we'll post them.
Oh, beautiful.
Thanks for being so amazing. My watch list has grown exponentially since I started watching. Congrats on 50 plus shows. Thank you.
Thank you.
Longtime Scarecrow fan, and also I run the Seattle Horror Filmmakers group.
Oh, shit.
You're always invited to any of our meet and greets with beer at Two Fingers Saloon. Have you been there before?
Nope.
It's so cool. It's in West Seattle, or kind of like White Center, West Seattle-ish area.
It's a bit of a trek for me, but I'll
It's
make
a bit
it.
of a trek. I've been there a couple times. It's so cool. They have murals of horror characters on the walls. They always project stuff on their balcony. It's like a
Nice.
horror bar. It's so fucking cool.
We should shoot an episode there.
I would love to. We can figure something out. It's really cool. You're always invited to any of our meet and greets at Two Fingers or some other fine drinking establishment in town. But writing on behalf of our cats who watch your show with me, I love hearing about all these cats watching our show.
Whenever your pets watch our show, because my dog watches our show when I watch the episodes too.
Yeah. I mean, my dog watches most of the movies with
Yeah,
me.
she
so-
watches the movies with me too.
But writing on behalf of our cats who watch your show with me, but feel there's not really enough cat love on the show.
What?
There used to be, there hasn't been in a while. I don't know, Daniel, if you
my
had
fault.
watched earlier, we used to have a segment. It's been a little bit, but Rich used to do a segment called the Allurophile Cinephile. Is that what it was called?
The Allura Cinephile.
Yeah.
Liking.
So we do have cat love, but it has been a while. You're right. In honor of these three, what are each of your three favorite cat movies? Cat-centric,
Oh my
not
God.
sidekicks to dogs. Also, my wife and I have disagreed on how to spell our cats' names forever. So maybe you can help. Do you think it should be Charlie and Silky, Charley and Silkey, or Charlie and Silky, Charlie and Silkie?
Oh,
Or mix and match. We have only been discussing this for the last 13 years or so, and I'm sure you can clear it all up for us so we can move on with our lives. We agree on how to spell Stella, our other pet. Thanks, and hope to see you at Scarecrow, the Beacon, or some other event soon. From Dan and these three adorable movie-loving cats.
Charlie IE Silky Y.
Okay. I think IE's for both because I spell my name with an IE, so I'm kind of like prone to that.
I have an unusual vote.
Is it
You can spell it some weird-ass way.
I think it should be Charlie,
EIGH or something.
Charlie, Charlie,
Yeah.
and Silky, Silky.
I like that too because that's like a word. Silky is a word.
That's what I think.
Yes, that's what I think should be the vote.
What are each of our three favorite cat movies? Cat-centric.
Oof, God, I don't know if I have three.
I'm going to say, I came prepared. 1942's Cat People. Stephen King, Cat's Eye. And then Fulci is The Black Cat are going to be my three. But it was
Okay.
kind of hard. I don't think I've seen a lot of just cat movies.
I don't know if I have three cat movies. Okay, so number one is the Disney live-action cat
our new
movie,
cat?
The Cat from Outer
Oh,
Space.
Cat from Outer Space. Okay.
The Cat from Outer Space is great. The cat needs gold. He's an alien cat, needs to get gold to power his spaceship to go back to his home planet. Then, The Cat, the Hong
Yeah.
Kong movie The Cat. That is a masterpiece. One of the most insane films of all time.
But I know
What
you
about
said no
Roar?
sidekicks.
What
I
about
think you
Roar?
would say Roar.
Roar.
I think you'd say Roar.
If you want to watch people get killed by big cats, Roar is a good one.
Roar.
Yeah. So those are probably my three favorites.
And if you want to go back to some of our earlier episodes where Rich does the Allura Cinephile, you'll find some kind of deep dives on some cat movies. Rich, do you have any cat movies you want to rec?
I would probably say Holiday, which is the animated
Yeah.
one, which I like quite a bit, which is fairly violent. Shadow of the Cat, which is about a cat that murders his family out of revenge.
Okay.
It's pretty great. And The Cat from Paris,
Oh, yeah.
the animated film.
Yeah, yeah. What about Milo and Otis?
What about all those cats that were murdered?
Well, yeah, he said don't choose something where the cat's a sidekick.
Well, I mean, but they're like
They're equals.
co-leads. And we have the Region 3 Japanese original version
Where you can
of
see
the
the
Adventures
cats
of Milo and
being
Otis.
murdered.
They don't die. That's
They
a
do.
myth.
That's not a myth.
That's a myth.
It's not a myth.
It's a myth.
They threw him in the river.
They didn't throw him in the river. Everything was okay with the cats.
Keep telling yourself that.
And also, the long version without the Dudley Moore voiceover is better.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Daniel, for writing in. Okay, we have another email, another mailbag, and we did ask you guys to send us your discoveries and your favorite 2022 movies. And Erica wrote in no particular order, my favorite new to me movies this year. Emperor of the North, 1973.
Ooh, good one.
Never seen it. Noisy Requiem, 1988.
I'm not familiar with that
Neither.
title.
I don't think I know any of these. The Man Who Stole the Sun, 1979.
Ooh.
Is that a Japanese movie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Fear is the Key,
Oh,
1972.
one of my favorites.
Rented from Scarecrow. Thanks. Immediately followed this up by reading McLean's novel.
Great film.
Think of a Number from 1969, a Danish film based on the same book as The Silent Partner.
Really?
That's very
okay.
interesting. I kinda
That's
wanna
new to me.
I want to check that out.
That's new to me for sure.
And then 1978's Quiet as the Night. Erica, I haven't seen any of these.
I've seen a couple, but those are some excellent.
This is like a solid
excellent works.
discovery list, and I kind of want to dig into it.
I'm gonna have to delve into most
Yeah.
of
You
these.
guys can do a whole episode of just going over those movies.
Yeah, spectacular work,
Yeah.
Erica. Like I am
viewer
familiar with
discoveries.
very few of those films.
I don't know any of these. I mean, I know what The Silent Partner is, and that's about it. That's not even one.
Yeah, and you could listen to us cover The Silent Partner, not you, but on the Suspense is Killing Us.
Not me.
Before
the
your
other
tenure.
guy. And we got another email from Evan Pulgino. I never know how to. I don't know.
Pulgino.
Pulgino. Evan. Hi, Emily, Matt, and Rich. Thanks for another great year of Viva. Wanted to send you my favorites and discoveries from 2022. I'm sorry, I'm not letting you read any of these emails.
It's fine. I don't have them on my phone, so
Okay.
it's good.
For this year, the movies I love the most are Country Gold. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Spectacular.
Fantastic film.
So good.
Mickey Reese is
Mickey
is the new Flesh.
He's the man. Crimes of the Future. Speaking of New Flesh,
Eh,
I liked it.
eh.
It was what I wanted. It was what I wanted to see on the screen.
Now that's not what you want from Cronenberg.
Decision to Leave.
Nice.
It was pretty good.
I liked it.
Me too. Glass Onion.
I liked
Good, fun,
Seen. Pearl. Loved.
loved it.
Okay, Resurrection. Loved. We'll talk about later. Skinamarink. How the fuck are you guys seeing this movie?
I have a screener of it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Are you? Tar.
Good.
Haven't seen it.
Did you see Tar, Rich? It's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
We're all going to the World's Fair. I wanted to like
I haven't
this,
seen
but I
that
didn't
yet.
like it very much. It was at
World's
North Bend
Fair?
last year, and I love teen girls on the internet.
Look, I'm the guy
I
that
love scary teen girls on the internet doing cultish things. And then Weird, the Al Yankovic story, which I still haven't seen.
neither have I. I have not watched it yet.
I've seen it. It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you loved it?
Yeah.
2022 best first time watches from Evan. Beyond the Hills, Ham on Rye,
Wow.
Irma Vep, Miss 45, one of my favorites. You not a big fan?
No, I mean, no. I love Miss 45.
The Oregonian is a really good one.
Yeah.
Out of the Blue, amazing. We'll talk later. Shiva Baby,
Still haven't seen it.
it's great. Taste of Fear, another one of my faves. I hope you got some of these from me because I've talked about a lot of these. But if not, that's fine too. The Vanishing, amazing.
Which one?
I heard both were good, but I'm thinking the original.
No, the remake
one's
is
not
not good.
I've only seen the original.
You have to watch Spoilers.
Sporloose.
Where's the Friend's House, which I've never even
Oh,
heard of.
Kiarostami. That's
good?
his masterpiece. In my opinion, that is his best film. Yeah.
In addition to watching more movies from my home library and watching less movies on streaming, my main resolution is to catch more screenings at the Beacon. Yeah.
Killer.
Happy New Year, Evan. Thanks, Evan. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
And that was our
Mailbag.
Okay, you guys, we're going to start off doing 2022 physical release favorites. So I know at least a couple of mine came out in 2021 but didn't come out on disc until 2022. So that'll be a little bit of distinction.
Hey. Our favorites from last year, the best.
My first pick, as you guys probably could guess, is going to be Jackass Forever.
Hell yeah. Oh.
Which I still say is my favorite movie of 2022 just because it brings me so much joy.
It definitely made my top 10.
It just is it's so much joy, you know? These guys have been friends for fucking ever. Did you know this was one of the first movies, if not the first movie, that was filmed during COVID, like that had to do all the COVID restrictions and everything like that? They put out a Jackass 4.5. I don't think it's on disc yet, but that kind of goes behind the scenes on that.
What's your favorite stunt?
Well, I mean, it's hard to top the intro of Chris Pontius's dick being the kaiju.
A what?
Just thinking of that makes me laugh.
How?
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Oh, also, this was the first Jackass I had ever seen in theaters.
Really?
Yeah. So me and Nick went and saw this on Valentine's Day.
Oh, man.
After going to Buffalo Wild Wings. It was really
like
romantic.
Titanic. Titanic. This is where we first met Jack. Can I tell you what's
your
my
favorite
favorites?
stunt?
My favorite stunts were, first of all, like number 2 is when the girl throws the softballs at the
Aaron?
guy's dick.
Yeah.
So first of all, when she finally hits him, she just turns around at the camera and goes, yes!
Dude, she's a badass.
She's a badass. But also before that, he keeps like dodging them and getting hurt because it's like hitting him in the legs. And the guys are going like, why are you moving? And he goes, I don't know. Dude,
Why'd you move?
I don't know. That's really funny. And then number 1 is the Silence of the Lambs thing, which is
In the dark,
the night vision thing.
What's Anna doing?
That's like, oh my fucking God.
No!
God damn. Oh, fuck you guys.
Wait, why are we the only ones in here now?
I don't know, dude.
Got it.
What?
Hello, my name's Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to hell.
Oh, fuck.
Which is maybe,
They were very scared about
in the
that.
history of Jackass stunts, possibly the cruelest thing they've ever
So
done.
on 4.5,
No,
they talk
no,
about
don't tell them what it
how-
is. Don't tell them what it is.
Okay, but they talk about how scared they were about that. It was really scary.
It's really terrifying, and then like when the guys who are the most scared get out, even worse shit happens to them. It's very funny.
It's so good. Aaron,
Good stuff.
Danger Aaron, his balls just get completely destroyed in this one, which is crazy because he just had a baby.
Well, he doesn't need his balls anymore.
Exactly. But I heard that he's having a baby, and I was just like, I was like, okay.
I can't believe he managed to have a baby.
Yeah, exactly. Loved the Johnny Knoxville versus the bull, the matador stunt, where he actually like got knocked out, I think.
Apparently they're actually going to try to make another one.
Good. I hope they make these until they die. This is like
No,
such
you hope they make them until one of them kills them.
Sure. They're such good. You could just see the love. Like, if you want to see like male friendship in its purest, stupidest, dumbest form, like Jackass is just. It makes
Or you
me
could just watch this
so
show.
Happy. It just makes me so happy. Also, I still have a huge crush on Chris Pontius. Yeah. Also, there's new players in this Jackass. There's like some new people, and they're all really fun. Directed by Jeff Tremaine, who's been there since the start. Seek this out if you're feeling blue, because it will definitely put a smile on your face.
Absolutely.
I just Googled the hardest punch ever recorded. Francis Ngannou's punch is the equivalent of being hit by a Ford Escort at top speed. His punch is the equivalent of...
Why, you don't need to read that now.
All right, so one of my favorite new releases of 2022, it's a very easy choice. It's not going to be very obscure, but the new 4K of Heat is beautiful. One of my favorite films. I fell in love with this movie when it came out in theaters when I was a young man, and I still love it. The new Michael Mann novel, that's the sequel to it, is really good. This is a classic movie bro movie. If you're into that kind of thing, there's no way you can go wrong. The new 4K of Heat is one of the best physical media releases of the year.
Check it out.
She got a great ass. And you got your head all the way up it.
Okay, my next movie is Resurrection. 2022. This is directed by Andrew Simon. I don't want to say Seaman. I'm trying so hard not to say Seaman. Simon. It's starring Rebecca Hall. We both love Night House from last year.
Night House, one of the best movies of 2021.
Matt didn't love this one. I really did. This one is a drama that kind of is a slow boil for a long time. Rebecca Hall is a successful single mom, and all of a sudden, someone from her past resurfaces. That person is Tim Roth, who does a very amazing job at being a creepy kind of stalker guy.
Thought you didn't know who I am. You introduced yourself to me. You came up to me, you shook my hand, you told me about Abby. Don't you remember?
Has some best supporting actor vibes here.
Yeah,
He's great in
totally.
it.
He's so good in this role. We kind of learned that they were in an abusive relationship in the years past where he really manipulated her and like put her through a lot of weird stuff. You know, like stand barefoot in this city I'm making this shit up, but like in the city crosswalk for like 5 hours and you'll be, you know, I'll love you forever. It's like that kind of vibe, you know? He resurfaces. I mean, kind of. It's like the same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
He resurfaces, and you learn that they had a baby together that they lost. And Tim Roth is like, I've eaten this baby. I ate him up. I ate him all up. He's right in here. He's not dead. He's in my stomach. And it's like really fucked up and weird. And he's like rubbing his stomach, and he's like, can't you hear him crying? He's here for you. And it's like really messed up. She goes kind of crazy. She's like, I can't. Nice job, Matt. She's like, I don't want to like not believe you in case it is real because you've kind of abused me and like mentally like messed me up so much, and I don't want you to hurt my family. And there's this weird power dynamics going until the end where it really explodes into kind of a fucking body horror nightmare. I think it's really good. There's this one scene in particular where Rebecca Hall does this like 8-minute monologue that's just entrancing, and she kind of explains her past with Tim Roth in this monologue to this like intern that's working with her, and it's so mesmerizing and so fucked up, and this movie is like nothing that I've ever seen before, so I definitely recommend Resurrection. Also, this is a cool cover. I like the cover.
Rebecca Hall, you can't lose.
I want to see so much more of her.
She's amazing.
Yeah. Check it out.
Love her.
I would do anything, sacrifice anything for my children. For them, I'm unstoppable. I'm a goddamn champion.
Okay, so another one of my favorite physical media releases of 2022 is Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy. This is directed by Ryusuke Hamaguchi, who was nominated for Best Director for his movie Drive My Car last year, and that movie was also nominated for Best Picture. He released this movie in the same year as Drive My Car. I think this movie is better.
Okay. I haven't heard anyone talk about this one.
This is relatively underseen. It's not an anthology film, but it features multiple stories, and it reminds me very much of the great Wong Kar-wai film Chungking Express. And I think that this like hits a lot of the same notes. It features some really interesting actors. I really liked the sort of serene but quietly devastating vibe of the whole thing. It's sort of overlooked given the ubiquity of Drive My Car in sort of the awards conversation last year. I think that this one is really, really interesting. He's directed so many great films. He made a movie called Happy Hour, which is very, very good.
Oh, yeah.
He made Asako 1 and 2, which is also excellent. Not a lot of people have seen a lot of his stuff. He's really coming up. I think his next film, whatever it is going to be something else.
Yeah.
Because, like, releasing this and Drive My Car in the same year, that's unheard of. It's like Spielberg doing Jurassic Park and Schindler's List in the same year. It's insane. This is great shit. Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy. Seek it out. Most people have just ignored it. It's really, really good.
このデータをお渡ししたら聞いて変なことはしますか？
変なこと？
オナニーです。
いえ、しないと思います。
だったらあげられません。
え？
We briefly talked about Mickey Reese earlier. I'm going to talk about Agnes. Because this movie is really cool and weird. So the quotes on the back, super creepy. It's so good. These are quotes. That's kind of what I want to say.
I love this movie.
So Agnes is really weird and cool. It follows Mary as she's at this convent, and her BFF is Agnes. And one day at dinner, Agnes starts like having a psychotic breakdown, basically, and like cussing out all of the other sisters.
Although at first I hesitated to deviate from the usual solemnity of our mealtimes, I had to acknowledge that tonight indeed should be a joyous occasion. Sister Gertrude has been with us for many years, and celebrating the birthday of a sister in Christ summons us to...
Whores! You are whores! You are all whores of Christ! And you will fucking burn in hell!
Just acting really crazy. And so what do? Of course, they give her an exorcism.
What would you do?
They call in these two kind of creepy ass priests, one of which is like a Hollywood like douchebag guy.
And I understand congratulations are in order. I heard you passed your exams, if only just barely.
Just as you taught me. If you can't be good enough.
Right. Good advice for all of us.
It's just all weird. The movie is so unique in the way that it like stops that kind of halfway through, and then all of a sudden we're in the future where Mary is now working at like a grocery store, and she's not a nun anymore because she was like, I can't deal with whatever that was. But she's still kind of haunted by the unsettling fucked upness that the Agnes thing had with her. And so she kind of carries that with her in her normal life, which makes every interaction that she has with creepy boss, random people, the ex-boyfriend of Agnes that she meets, it puts everything on edge. Is something like supernatural gonna happen? Is she gonna fucking kill people? It's just a really tense and weird, awesome movie.
I like how bifurcated it is. Like the first half is one kind of thing and the second half is another kind of thing.
Yeah. And you don't, I thought it was all going to be this like exorcist, nun movie, and then it becomes, oh, now this is her in the real world. Let's see how fucked up we made it.
You can never go wrong with Mickey Reese.
Yeah, Mickey Reese, God. And Country Gold, as soon as that shit comes on DVD or Blu-ray, I'll show you guys.
He makes very unusual films, and all of them are very interesting.
Yes, so check out Agnes if you're looking for something a little different, but still want like a weird kind of horror-y thing with like really memorable, cool characters.
Good stuff.
Some people are trying, some people aren't trying. Some people aren't even trying to try, but some people are trying to not try. And some people are trying to try, not trying.
2022 new release that I'm going to talk about is a movie that we showed at the Beacon a few months ago.
Yeah.
Femme Fatale. Brian De Palma's Femme Fatale. One of the great films, not well received at the Beacon when we showed it.
They didn't have the subtitles for the French part.
That's true. They didn't.
I was in the front row, baby.
They didn't have the subtitles for the French parts, but this is sort of the ultimate Brian De Palma movie. It's a metatextual heist, dream logic, action, suspense, erotic thriller, and I don't even know how to describe it to you except to say that it will completely nuke you if you can tune into its wavelength, right?
Right.
It's about a woman who gets involved in a jewel heist at the Cannes Film Festival and then double crosses the guys that she is in on the heist with. And then they come after her and try to kill her. But
Be back that bitch!
they fail to kill her, and then she escapes into a world where she meets her doppelganger, and then there is a whole situation in which she replaces the woman that is her exact double and goes on to lead her life.
De Palma loves like doppelgangers.
Yeah, it's hard to explain without giving it away, but there is literally nothing else like this, even in De Palma's illustrious, weird career.
Yeah.
And I think that this is sort of the most Brian De Palma movie. And if you're a fan of our podcast, The Suspense of Killing Us, you'll know that I am a big De Palma acolyte. This is one of my favorite films of his, and I really don't think you can go wrong. you do have to make a leap. You have to sort of tune into it.
Yeah.
You know? You have to sort of accept where it's going. But I do think that this is one of his finest films. Kind of forgotten. Came out in 2000, was roundly dismissed by everyone at the time, and has since become sort of recognized as one of his best films. And I think you really need to check it out.
I'm talking about the worst person in the world.
Ooh, this is a good one.
I really love this movie. This is directed by, I don't know how to say his name, Joachim Trier. Joachim Trier? Sure. I really wish this was written and directed by a woman, though. That would have made it better.
I agree.
But he did a really good job. It's a really great, super relatable movie about this woman in her late 20s who goes through a bunch of different like career shifts, relationship issues. She's struggling with her own kind of like depression and anxiety. She's a writer. It kind of is all fucked up there. She's dating shitty artists. She's dealing with ex-boyfriends. She's meeting people. It's just like, it's a slice of life type thing. It follows her for like, I think 3 or 4 years. It's super relatable, but then it's also the cinematography in it is so like dreamy and beautiful that it really encapsulates looking back, like kind of like journaling where you're looking at little moments and you make them so big in your head because they were so important to you, even though they're the smallest fucking moment. And I think this movie does that perfectly. There's a scene where time stands still and she's walking through, she's going from one place to another. Everyone around her, cars, people, they're all like frozen. Oh yeah, that's what it fucking feels like, you know? It was a great movie. Criterion immediately put it out, that's big for like a new movie, you know? It hit me pretty hard and I loved it.
It's a really good movie. She's not the worst person in the world.
There's beautiful, small, huge moments in it that are just, it's indescribable. It's really great. One of my favorites forever now. Person in the world. Check it out.
Terrific film. One more 2022 new release for me is the great Peter Strickland's latest film, Flux Gourmet.
Oh yeah.
One of the best films of this year, a movie that literally almost nobody saw.
I saw it.
We
all saw it here.
We all saw it. This is one of my favorite directors. He made The Duke of Burgundy that I talked about, I think, on my very first episode of Viva. This is his latest film, and it's about a band doing a residency at an artist collective that deals with making sounds and music out of eating food. It's very hard to explain, totally normal stuff. Strickland has, over the course of the last decade of his career, gone increasingly deeper into the whole of his kinks.
Did he do it in Fabric?
He did in Fabric, yes.
A lot.
Another great film. He's gone deeper into the whole of his kinks, his sort of like the minutia of his obsessions. He is very preoccupied with the tactility of sound. And texture and things like that, and also the way in which artists of any stripe and people who are obsessed with the sort of ASMR of their lives negotiate the outside world. And this is a really, really very niche-y film, but I don't think you could do better given the subject matter. There's just nothing else like this out there.
You're missing out on a vital source of vitamin D.
So I get it from the sun.
The sun? What about winter? Unless you're an oracle retiring from the Temple of Apollo during the coldest months, you need your vitamin D if you don't want your bones to get all rickety.
It has Gwendolyn Christie from Game of Thrones.
Incredible.
And it has this
Powerful.
really, really funny subplot about this band that is making music out of eating food, and then they are also in the process of completely self-destructing at the same time. And they're like putting on ninja costumes and doing heists at night. It's insane. There's nothing else like it out there. It's one of Strickland's, it's like Strickland's movies have continued to be more and more esoteric. Much like I am excited to see where James Cameron goes after Avatar 2, like can he top that? I am excited to see where Peter Strickland goes after this. Like, can he top this?
Yeah.
Can he be weirder? I'm not sure. This is going to be good. Flux Gourmet, one of the best movies of 2022.
I couldn't imagine anything worse than your job. Having to humour and indulge a different set of feckless faux provocateurs each month.
My last movie is called I Love My Dad.
You should go on one of these days.
Well, I haven't seen this yet.
This is a comedy starring Patton Oswalt. It is directed by James Morosini, who also plays the son in this, based on a real life experience of his, where basically this movie is Patton Oswalt is feeling really distant from his 20-something son, and he's like, he won't talk to me.
Took some steps in setting healthy boundaries and blocked my dad online. He lies and makes excuses. He's never really been there for me when I needed him, and I'm done with that.
I think he's like 18 or 19. He's not even a 20-something yet. He's like, he won't talk to me. Like, I can't get close to him. I feel like he's pulling away. How can I connect with him?
I just started a different page with a different name, a whole different picture, you know. She never even knew.
And so in the world's worst decision ever, he decides to basically catfish his own son and pretend to be a girl on the internet. And he makes this like fake profile.
I really hope my dad doesn't do
Starts
this.
talking to his son using this fake profile in order to like learn more about his own son and like form a connection. Things get a little out of hand because his son like falls in love with this fake character whose dad is just trying to get close to him by. And eventually they're like, okay, we should meet. And so Patton Oswalt, he calls his dad and he's like, will you take me to go meet this girl? And Patton Oswalt is like,
no.
yeah, I guess I will. And so hilarity ensues, awkwardness ensues, but also it's extremely touching, really emotional dramedy about a father-son relationship. And then thinking about that, it was based on a real experience from this guy who's like the main actor and the director. It's like, there's a lot of super cringy moments. I saw this at North Bend this year, North Bend Film Fest. It was the opening night film, and it was so funny and like awkward to see it with a crowd. But yeah, it's really, really good. Patton Oswalt's great. So uncomfortable, but it's so funny. It has so much heart. I definitely laughed and cried in this. So
all right.
I definitely recommend I Love My Dad.
Whatever it is, it's okay. I'll understand.
Get the fuck out! You said it would be okay!
You're a piece of shit!
My final physical media release of 2022 is this massive SHAWSCOPE Volume 2 box set.
Volume 2.
A man's kung fu is good.
I'm gonna capture this monk. I'll even go to Shaolin!
I think Kevin talked about the first one, so this is great.
Yeah. This is amazing. It has something like 15 movies. And, I mean, some of these are absolutely astounding. I mean, first of all, you got the 36 Chamber of Shaolin, which might be the best kung fu movie ever made. You have its two sequels, Return to the 36 Chamber and Disciples of the 36 Chamber, that lean more into comedy, but are both very good. What else? Mad Monkey Kung Fu. Some of my favorites on this disc are The Boxer's Omen, maybe the best Hong Kong horror movie ever made. It's played at the Grand Illusion a few times. This is one of the greatest, weirdest Hong Kong horror films of all time. There's also the double feature on the same disc as The Boxer's Omen is Wong Jing's The Mercenaries from Hong Kong.
Oh, that's good.
Which is just like a bunch of track-suited badasses like fucking shit up. One of the great 80s Hong Kong films. There are so many tremendous extras on this.
This is a solid set for sure.
Yep. The transfers are great. Every single movie is awesome. You cannot go wrong with this. This is the kind of thing that you don't rent, you buy.
Yeah.
You just buy it. It doesn't matter if you don't know about any of the movies that are in it. You just pick it up, take it home, and you're not going to be disappointed because every single one of these is a banger. And I'm sad that I don't have a copy because I need to get one.
Someone buy Matt this.
Thank you.
Come on,
you should.
For Christmas.
I'd like that. It's great. It's actually even better than the first set.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say that the titles are better. Yeah.
Okay, check out SHAWSCOPE Volume 2.
2. I can't throw this, it's too heavy.
No, don't do that. All right, now our 2022 discoveries, so things that don't have to have come out in 2022, but we discovered them this year.
That's it. Oh, that's it. I found it. Over here, found it. Over here.
I will start, and I will start with a movie I've already talked about on the show. I'm going to start with Out of the Blue.
Pretty vacant, eh? My dad's handles flesh.
Which was probably my favorite ever discovery from this year. This movie is so fucking good. Dennis Hopper is so amazing.
I'm really sorry, you know, that I haven't been in touch with you, you know. I don't really have no excuse, you know, because I could say I don't write, you know, which is true, but I didn't really want you to see me any like this, you know.
You directed this movie after like being in fucking Hollywood exile for like however many years.
Mm-hmm.
Linda Manns is absolutely amazing in this.
Here. My, look who's here. Come over here. Do you understand? I never liked your face.
An amazing fucking punk rock coming of age tale that gets really fucking dark. Is really unapologetic about where it goes. Soundtrack's amazing, Neil Young amazing. It's just incredible, and I'm really so happy I got to see it for the first time at the Beacon, which was great to see it on a screen. And I'm also really stoked that Severin put this out and re-released it. It looks amazing.
It's a beautiful edition, yeah.
Everyone should see this movie. I'm not going to talk more about it because I went into detail about it on a previous episode, but go check out Out of the Blue. My favorite discovery probably of this year.
Heavy duty shit.
Now we're fighting.
Mine is this.
This is my last fight of 32.
Revenge exploitation movie, The Farmer.
Things that a dollar bill won't bring.
Which is really, really, really hard to see for many, many, many years.
It's been on my list.
It's pretty good. It has a really killer ending, and it's kind of in the vein of your like classic exploitation stuff.
Vicini, you've been stroking me long enough. Get to the point.
The point? Push the button. That's the point, Johnny boy.
And I was waiting for Scorpion and Code Red to put this out for many, many years, and they finally released it this year, and it really did live up to its reputation. I thought it was really spectacular. You don't often get these long-lost exploitation movies that finally come out in some kind of viable format, and they're actually good. This one actually did like live up to its reputation, so The Farmer.
Check it out.
You made two mistakes today. One was getting up, and the other was making fun of Shirley Temple.
So for a while this year, I was getting really into the Vietnam War, as you guys probably know.
That was one of the funner wars.
One of the funner wars, for sure.
Yeah, if you're going to get into one, yeah.
And one of my favorite discoveries of this year was a movie I'd never seen before, and it's called The Deer Hunter. And this movie fucking wrecked me. This movie is so amazing. It has all of our favorites, you guys. It has De Niro as Walken, as Meryl Streep, as John Cazale, who, after I watched this movie, I watched the documentary, I don't know what it's called, but it's about John Cazale and his like short career.
I think that's what it's
before
called.
He passed away. He was dating Meryl Streep at this time, and they didn't want to actually hire him. Michael Cimino didn't want to hire him because he was actually dying of cancer in this movie. De Niro paid for his health insurance so that he would be hired for this movie, which is insane. Like, they were all actually like such good friends. It just has everything. It's like a small town, like blue collar buddy movie at the beginning, and then they all go to the Vietnam War and they get so fucked up there.
Christ, I don't believe it.
Mike?
Mike! Jesus Christ!
They get tortured, all this shit. There's all this like Russian roulette type vibe going on. They come back. Christopher Walken gets addicted to heroin and like stays over there or whatever. And like De Niro goes to try to find him. There's like a love triangle. There's all this stuff. It's so heartbreaking. It's so good. It's like best peak performances of all of these people. There's like a 30-minute like Russian wedding scene that is absolutely like I wouldn't cut 1 minute from it. It's just so good. This is fucking cinema.
I think this movie gets lumped into dad movie cinema.
It's astounding.
Because like everyone's dad loves The Deer Hunter, but also it is staggeringly beautiful.
It's staggeringly beautiful. It's so good. Meryl Streep is amazing in it.
Yeah.
And of course, like, it sounds dumb to be like, Meryl Streep's great in it, or Robert Jr.'s great, because like they're great, you know
Walken.
they're great. But they are great. And it's tense, and it's fucked up, and it's dark, and it's so compelling. And this movie just really blew me away. And it's like one of those that had been on my list for a really long time, and I finally was like, all right, I'll watch The Deer Hunter. It's over 2 hours, but I'll fucking watch it.
Right.
And I was like, oh yeah, well duh, this is great.
It's
so,
spectacular.
If you've been like also putting this off because you're like, yeah, it's a classic, it's really long, watch it. It's absolutely amazing. Deer Hunter.
Agreed. The cover of this is for the movie The Game, but the movie that I want to talk about is the double feature on this disc, and it's called Twister's Revenge.
Whoa.
And it is by the same director, a guy named Bill Urbane, who was a Wisconsin regional filmmaker in the 70s and 80s. Twister's Revenge is about a young lady who develops an AI monster truck.
No matter how much love and electronics you put into it, it's still only a truck.
That's not true. The artificial intelligence I put into it, it'll be like you and I thinking.
Oh, yeah? No one's ever accused me of thinking.
And then the stupid rednecks kidnap her in order to force the AI monster truck to do crimes for them.
What year is this from?
Oh gosh. This one's really good. If you want to watch a computer-controlled monster truck pancake everything in sight, this is the movie for you. It's very silly. It's like Knight Rider.
Now remember what I told you, how to do this. All right. All right. Stupid computer. I heard that, Dave.
Plus crimes.
What was that? That was real pretty, Bear.
Plus stupid.
That's
You're gonna love it.
Okay.
It's really, really good, and it's dirt cheap. Like, you're gonna get no production value out of this. A spectacular film. Twister's Revenge. Check it out.
He already approved. He just hasn't quite accepted. I'll see you someday.
Might not have time. Supposed to go to a wedding.
So I'm not done talking about the Vietnam War because I want to talk about one of America's favorite celebrities and his journey through all the different phases of the Vietnam War. And I want to talk about Born on the 4th of July.
Hell yes!
Because I fucking loved this. If you had any doubt in your mind that Tom Cruise is one of the best fucking actors, stars, You watch this and you'll be like, okay, I know he was like kind of a joke when we were talking about him, but like he actually is an amazing fucking actor. He does his performance is amazing.
Destroys in this
his
movie.
His performance is amazing in this. He plays a guy who goes through all the fucking stages, and this is based on a real guy. This is a biopic about a guy named Ron Kovic, I think his name is.
Ron Kovic, yeah.
He goes through all the fucking phases about buying into this American dream. He begins as a patriot who's like, I wish I was a soldier.
Don't you know what it means to me to be a Marine, Dad? Ever since I was a kid, I've wanted this. I wanted to serve my country, and I want to go. I want to go to Vietnam.
You know, and then he becomes a soldier, and then he gets fucked over by the war.
It was real glary, very confusing, and that's when it happened, sir.
And then he loses his fucking legs, and then, or he's paralyzed. I don't remember if he actually loses them.
He doesn't lose his legs. He's paralyzed.
He's paralyzed.
Yeah.
Then he sees how fucked up America treats their vets afterwards, and then becomes an anti-war activist. And it's just like it goes through the years in the life of this guy who just goes through the whole shebang of being sold this one thing from America and actually getting another. And it's so compelling. It's so devastating.
I can't find the words to express how the leadership of this government sickens me.
And it's also so big budget, wondrous, with a John Williams score.
Oh, the John Williams score is amazing.
It's amazing. It's incredible. If anyone had any doubts to whether or not Tom Cruise is a great actor or not, just fucking watch Born on the 4th of July. Because it's incredible.
It's funny that not funny, but you bring this up right next to The Deer Hunter, 2 movies involving the Vietnam War that are about young men being seduced and abandoned by the myth of their like power in America.
They get used up, baby, and then they just get thrown away.
Also, this movie also has penis mom.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise yelling penis at his mother.
There's a lot of like family stuff too. It's a good one. It's also another long one, but if you were feeling it, doing a Vietnam War double feature, which I probably did, I probably, like, within a few days of each other watched both of these, and they both blew me away so much that I'm talking about them right now at the end of the year. So I highly recommend if you're like, let's do a Vietnam War day.
Oh, 2 spectacular picks, Emily. Like,
Go for it.
You nailed it. Those 2 movies next to each other.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. That's a long day.
It's a long day, but you'll be very rewarded. You'll walk away being like, cinema, you know?
Yeah. Have some food ready.
Have some beers ready.
For sure. My next one is Deadly Hero, which is a kind of prototypical dirty cop movie, but also trying to go into that mid to late 70s vibe. Okay, so it's weird to think that this came out within weeks of Taxi Driver.
Is it hard to get to be in the Secret Service?
Why?
Well, I was just curious because I think I'd be good at it.
This is almost like if Taxi Driver was about a cop, if it was called, Dirty Cop instead of Taxi Driver. Yeah. This is like about a guy who is using his horrible, badge blue authority to enact all of his shitty fantasies.
If you touch his gun, I'll blow your fucking head off.
And the motherfucker ain't lying.
And resolving his thwarted masculinity.
Sally. Gotcha.
Are you threatening me?
That time it was just for funsies.
It's really, really good, kind of unseen. I saw this on tape, and then it finally came out on Blu-ray, and it is really unusual, and almost nobody has seen it. It is definitely like Taxi Driver +1. It's doing something entirely different, but also along sort of the same beat of like the guy who wants to wants the rain to come to sweep the scum off the streets.
Yeah.
Except this guy has a badge instead of, a taxi cab medallion. Really interesting movie and really underseen. Check it out.
These are troubled times. In the fucking button.
I'm done with the Vietnam War. I'm over it. Now we're talking about...
Just like everyone else.
Romance. We're talking about romance. We're talking about real lives. We're talking about relationships. And I'm going to talk about this movie that I discovered this year called Sleep With Me. This movie's great. This movie reminds me a lot of early Noah Baumbach stuff, like Kicking and Screaming. It's basically about a love triangle between three best friends, two of which are getting married, one of which is in love with a girl that's getting married, and he kind of carries around his camera. So a lot of it is supposed to be like kind of found footagey, but a lot of it's also just like normal camera work. It's a very 90s hangout movie. Lots of like, we're at a party drinking.
Who the fuck are these people?
I think she's on TV.
Oh, yeah.
I never slept with a girl who's been on TV.
That girl that was in Jeopardy. What was her name?
And like everyone's just kind of talking about where they're at and like their relationship and like what they're doing, how they're failing at shit, like how they're succeeding. It stars Craig Sheffer, Meg Tilly, who I love, Eric Stoltz, who obviously anything he's in, I'll probably check it out. You may have heard of this for the iconic Quentin Tarantino party scene where he's just a guy at this party talking about Top Gun.
Where he misquotes Top Gun.
He misquotes it?
Yes.
All right, and what is the last fucking line that they have together? They're all hugging and kissing and happy with each other. And Ice comes up to Maverick and he says, man, you can ride my tail anytime.
You can be my wingman anytime.
But this movie is really, really good. It's, you know, it just has everything like a 90s hangout movie needs for me. And it's a realistic relationship drama and it has that je ne sais quoi of indie 90s movies that I love. And it's on Blu-ray, which is, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think this was when I watched it earlier this year, but now it is. So check it out.
She said, honey, your daddy is dead to me. But to you, your daddy, he'll always be. And although he made me cry my last year, to you, he should always be dear.
My next one is very, very underseen. It's called Positive ID. And if you know anything about Matt, you know that he loves a good exploitation film. He loves a good rape revenge movie. And this is one of the best of that subgenre that I have ever seen. If you're familiar with a movie that came out a couple years ago to considerable acclaim called Promising Young Woman, an interesting movie, this does a lot of what that movie was trying to do, but even better.
So I've heard, like, one of the podcasts I listened to just talked about this movie too.
This one?
So yeah, I think Elric on Pure Cinema Pod just talked about this.
Yeah.
So I've been hearing a lot of good things about Positive ID.
It's super
a lot
good.
Of positive things.
LOL. It is not a nuanced film. It's more interested in just diving really, really deep into the trauma that its main character has suffered.
Have reached a plea bargain arrangement with prosecutors that may have DeStefano serving only 7 months on charges of simple assault before being eligible for parole in mid-February. As part of the
and in the ways in which that causes her to want to lash out. The extremely valid ways in which it causes her to want to lash out.
I'd like to open a savings account, please.
Great. This is not interested in nuance. It is interested in revenge. And it is also interested very much in the way that the kind of trauma that its main character experiences can lead to define them and the way that they overcome. It's a really, really interesting movie. Given the fact that it's from 1983, it is decidedly not exploitative. I was surprised at how not sort of salacious it is. But it does manage to hit sort of all the beats of like being exciting and spooky and scary and also not, it's surprisingly not dated for being over 30 years old. I would highly recommend this film, especially if you're a fan of Promising Young Woman, which was a really interesting movie, but I think this is way, way better.
Take the warmed butter and garlic sauce and just smear it all inside the cavity. It might feel funny, but you have to get way up in there. After this, you are legally engaged to the chicken in 14 states.
My last movie discovery of this year is a 1990 movie called White Palace. This one is a sexy one, as you can tell by the cover. This is starring Susan Sarandon and James Spader. And it is a very passionate romantic movie about this woman who works at a diner who's in her 40s, and she's very like free and uninhibited.
I was sorting your shells and mixing your cocktails.
And then James Spader is a widower. He's in his 20s. He kind of runs with a very upper class crowd, very kind of snobbish. I mean, you guys know James Spader. And then he falls for her. And this movie chronicles their relationship and how she is always kind of coming second to his inhibitions about, you know, kind of just introducing her to his friends. He feels awkward about their age difference. He feels awkward about their class difference.
You hide me like I'm shit. You tell me I'm beautiful, then you hide me like shit.
It's just like a classic love story that there's all these obstacles in between why they can't just like be together, even though they could just be together. And their chemistry is off the charts. It's such a sexy movie. It's such a romantic movie. It really pulls you into their story. You can really believe that they really want to be together, and it was just a really good find. So if you're looking for some sexy Sarandon and Spader.
When aren't we?
When aren't we, though, honestly. Check out White Palace. It's really great.
That you didn't gobble and you didn't lie. Well, I don't give a shit if you gobble, but don't you ever lie to me again.
The best new to me movie in 2022 was Bingo. It was Bingo.
I'm pretty sure Bingo came out on Blu-ray this year, too.
I can't believe it's out on Blu-ray.
It wasn't when me and Kevin first watched it, that's for sure.
But this is the best new to me movie of 2022. I watched this because you guys did it on the show.
Yeah, you saw it in theater.
And I saw it in a theater for the first time when you did a show at the Beacon.
Beacon screening of Bingo.
And
If
let
you
me
guys were
tell
there,
you,
you're a real one.
this is one of the funniest movies I have ever seen in my entire life.
It's outrageous, dude. It's outrageous.
I laughed so hard, and it got to the point where, like, late in the film at the screening, I was so wound up. I had been laughing so hard for so long that literally anything that happened made me start to crack up.
If you missed our Bingo screening, we had like bingo cards. It was so much fun. It was sold out. It was probably the only sold out showing of this movie on screen ever.
Tremendous film. If you want to watch a movie about the world's smartest, stupidest dog, you got to watch Bingo.
You got to watch Bingo.
There's a part where he has to testify in open court.
We have the court reporter read back the dog's testimony in response to his whereabouts on the day in question.
He's in human jail.
And no chewing on the furniture.
He does laundry.
He's in human jail, and he's in dog jail.
He goes to the hospital where all of his enemies show up to wish him well.
This movie is consistently and constantly absolutely hilarious. It is the funniest movie I have seen in over a decade. Bingo. You have to see Bingo.
More Chucky? I mean Chicken Chuck. No, Chicken Chick.
Who let the dogs out this holiday season?
You.
I did. And so did Matt. Because we're talking about Don Bluth's All Dogs Go to Heaven.
At last. Oh, wait,
Would you like to mic up?
You such a grouch.
We're talking about All Dogs Go to Heaven, Don Bluth.
At last. Like, this is a long request.
The year, 1989. Also, the year of my birth. Almost
God.
33 exact years ago today. In a couple days. It's almost my birthday, you guys. Burt Reynolds is...
Charlie B. Barkin.
And Dom DeLuise.
Dom DeLuise.
Itchiford.
Itchy Itchiford. Like most of Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds' interactions, Burt Reynolds is vaguely abusive.
Itchy, button it up. You have no compassion.
Shut up.
He was the best foil in the world, and I loved stepping on his foot in the middle of a scene, and he would cry.
So Burt Reynolds is like it's like a German Shepherd. probably.
Yeah, and he owns a dog casino?
Yeah, he's partners in a dog casino with his partner, Carface.
Carface. And the payouts at the dog casino are not money, they're bones.
Bones. But they also get drunk off beer.
They do
I'm
drink
pretty sure it's
actual
beer.
human alcohol.
And
Yeah.
they get drunk.
The line between like what humans do and what dogs do in this is nebulous at best in this movie.
We're not concerned
And
with that? Or no
no,
one's
you're not concerned with it.
that?
I was concerned with it. It made
Matt's
me
concerned with
it made
it.
me upset. They also have like fist fights.
This is also a musical.
Yes.
Can't keep a good dog down.
You can't keep a good dog down. No, you can't. No.
It's a really good movie.
Me and Louise were watching this. Me and my dog were watching this, and I was singing the "Can't Keep a Good Dog Down" to her, and she was like, "I don't know what's going on."
You can't keep a good dog. Can't keep a good. I say you can't keep a good dog down.
Takes place in 1939, the Louisiana Bayou, which I think it could still take place in 1989 in New Orleans, but I guess they just needed it to be then for some reason. I didn't see anything.
There were
particularly
less
39
killer
about it.
singing alligators in the 80s.
Oh, what do you call that voice, little fella? That a baritone or a tenor? It's Oh, I don't care. It's just you and me. Let's make music together.
Yes. We were introduced to Charlie B. Barkin at his casino. There's also Carface's assistant's name is Killer, who's played by Charles Nelson Riley, who is in Match Game.
Time to choose one.
Charles.
Charles, are you ready?
Your reign is over, Philip. The women are turning toward me.
Charles Nelson Riley plays Carface's. Carface is the villain of the piece.
Killer, this is strike two. You're out.
No, wait, boss, I get one more strike, boss, honest. Oh.
Yeah, and he was Charlie B. Barkin's partner.
They were partners.
But
he wants to push Charlie B. Barkin.
He wants to get all the money
out
from
of
the
it.
rat. They are also betting, instead of a horse race, it's betting on rat races.
Rat races.
Carface is like, I don't want Charlie a part of this anymore.
Do not wish that I should share 50% of the business with my partner, Charlie.
And so he does a plot to kill him.
Yes. Also, you're forgetting the part about how he does this weird thing where he like rides a fake car in front of a screen that...
I don't remember this.
You don't remember this part?
Maybe I wasn't looking. I was also folding laundry.
He's riding a car in front of a screen that makes it look like he's in a car chase, and then like...
But he's really a car face.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah. Anyway, like Carface is obsessed with being the top banana. He wants to be the king. He's insane, and he really wants to push Charlie out. And so he concocts this scheme to kill Charlie.
He's played by Vic Tayback from Alice too.
Good job.
You're welcome, because I'm the one fact checking here. He sets him up to where he's going to get run over by a car and pushed into the river to swim with the fishes.
Charlie! Killer, shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Can't keep a good dog down!
But Charlie goes to heaven.
Which is cool. I love this scene. It's beautiful. The clouds are so beautiful. It's like watercolor. It's so gorgeous. And there's a dog angel up there who's voiced by, I forgot her, I didn't write down her name, but she is like a soul and R&B singer of the time.
Okay.
And she's like, Charlie, like she's very just like kind of whimsical.
Welcome to being dead.
Sorry, you're dead, but all dogs go to heaven because they're all loyal, kind, and like selfless, basically.
Yes.
But then
Except Charlie, who
she's going
is
through
not.
her book, and she's like, I can't really find anything. I'm sure we can get you in. I can't really find anything. And she's like,
See, this watches your life. And it stopped.
Well, can't you just wind it up or something?
And she's like, you really can't do that.
Can't do that. And if you do it,
You're never
you
coming
can't
back.
come back.
You can't come back.
You can never come back.
He goes back to
He
Earth.
does it.
And that's where he meets Anne-Marie,
Anne-Marie.
who is a very cute little orphan girl.
Carface has basically kidnapped her, but
Because
not really.
she can talk to animals.
Yeah. And so he has her basically trapped in the basement, and he's making her talk to the rats to find out who's going to win the rat races.
Yes.
Mr. Carface, can I go outside today?
Sure you can, little girl. But first you talk to the rat.
Well, if you want
And then Charlie and Itchy rescue her from Carface, and they take her on an odyssey of illegal gambling.
Yeah.
During which she makes them a fortune because she is able to talk to all the animals, inspire them to win the race.
And she's just kind, and she's like, I'll do this for you if you guys help me find parents. And
Yeah,
they're like,
she
oh, of
wants to
course,
have
whatever.
fine
Yeah, we'll help you find parents.
All we need now is a couple of bucks.
A couple of bucks. A couple of bucks.
A couple. Yeah, a mom and dad.
Yeah, right. Sure, kid.
And there's a very prominent, nice, rich white couple that is going to be Anne-Marie's
And the
parents.
guys that Charlie B. Barkin is going to find them for her to be parents, he actually is like stealing their wallet. She finds out that they're not, that they're stealing from these people.
They're not nice.
And she's like, well, I'm leaving. I'm going to go back to this couple. And she goes to their house and they're like, where are you from?
Then where do you stay?
With Charlie in the junkyard.
Oh my. They're like, shit, this isn't good.
Meanwhile, Carface is like obsessed with killing Charlie, and he wants the girl back.
Because he realizes that Charlie's back. He realizes the girl is gone. All his plans are messed up. He's not winning any of the rat races. He's not making any money off the casino. Oh, also, when Anne-Marie and the two dogs go to the horse races, they do the classic trench coat adult thing where like
somebody standing on somebody's shoulders.
Love that. I love that so much.
There's a
I'm so
really
happy
good
that
montage
exists.
where they do all that
Yeah,
stuff.
and she gets new dresses. They go shopping and like all this stuff. It's really nice.
And then eventually because Charlie and Itchy have conflict because, Itchy is
He's like, why do we have this
girl around? Why are we?
And then he's like, you know what? She's just an orphan. We're going to take her back to the orphanage. I'm not her friend. And she's like in the background hearing.
He
and then she
literally
goes,
says, I'm using her.
Yeah. And then she goes, you're not my friend. You're a bad dog.
You're not my friend. You're a bad dog.
Squeaker.
There's a great scene where he orders a bunch of gross-looking they're really gross-looking cheesy pizzas.
Anybody here order a pizza?
Charlie! Pizza!
To all these like orphan puppies of rainbow colors.
Yeah. Well,
With
puppies love pizza.
With this girl he's kind of into, this collie, who reminds me of the hot collie from Rover Dangerfield.
It's a pretty simple movie. I think that the charm of it comes from the animation style.
Yeah.
That like Don Bluth almost rotoscoped animation style. Like it has a really interesting physicality to it that like stands apart from the Disney stuff at the time. It feels like the animators actually sort of based it on some human physical movement.
Physical movement.
You
They
know?
also do really well with all of a sudden introducing really dark elements to it, and that kind of
very
hellscapes.
dark.
Like Charlie dreams of hell or something, like he can't go to heaven, so he goes to hell. And then there's this other scene where they're in the bayou with this like alligator, and those scenes, even the drawing style becomes suddenly sharper and scarier and stuff like that.
It's kind of an intense movie. There's also a big sequence where the bad guys are shooting machine guns.
Yeah.
At
And there's
Charlie
a bunch of
B.
apple
Barkin.
barrels, and it's very like Godfather with the oranges.
Yeah, but it's really intense and violent and spooky. It's the kind of thing that you wouldn't expect to see in a children's animated movie now.
The movie did not make me cry until the very end.
Why? What made you cry?
You guys, Charlie ends up dying after rescuing Anne-Marie.
Yeah.
And the angel's like, okay, like you're really coming this time, Charlie. And so he is allowed to say goodbye to Anne-Marie, and he's at her bedside, and he's telling her that she's his best friend and that he has to say goodbye, but goodbye doesn't mean forever. And then she says, will I ever see you again? And I'll miss you. And it's just her like little baby voice. And I was like, oh, I thought it wasn't going to get me, and it got me. So it got me at the end.
This one didn't quite get me, but I saw it when it came out in theaters, and I really loved it when I was a little boy. And I still think it's really good. And you know what?
This is a solid, like, Don Bluth, fuck yeah, let's go.
I like his style, and I think that Reynolds' voice performance in this is really, really good.
Oh, yeah. And Dom DeLuise. I think Dom DeLuise is
Terrific.
so good.
Yeah, and
he does
also
great
Charles
sidekicks.
Nelson Riley is really good too.
And who is this little orphan girl? Who voices her?
I don't know.
I hope she's doing well. Wait.
What?
Ducky, Land Before Time. She's actually in Jaws, the Revenge also, and she's in this. Bluth was also liked her a lot and was like, I'm gonna put you in all my movies because you're super fucking good. And then she was killed by her father, murder-suicided her mother, her, and himself. She was killed before this movie came out.
I know, it's the same girl.
Before this movie comes out, yeah.
I don't like that. I don't care. I don't like this. I'm very upset right now.
Fucking sucks. I didn't know that was her.
How many paws for All Dogs Go to Heaven?
Oh, I'm gonna give it 3.5.
I'm gonna give it 3.
I'm gonna 3.5, mostly because of how I loved it when I was a kid, so it kind of carries into it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 3. I loved Burt Reynolds in it. The animation style is really good. It's exceptionally weirdly violent.
Yeah.
And
they get drunk.
They get drunk. The dogs have fist fights.
Like human fist fights.
There's a weird scene at the end, very close to the end, where they're gonna feed Burt Reynolds' dog to a crocodile.
Yeah.
And
The crocodile.
Then they make friends.
Wait a minute. The crocodile goes.
Ah, you look like a tasty New Orleans canine gumbo.
I mean, he does. It's 100% true.
He does. The songs are wacky. I like it. I love
like
the dreamy.
85 minutes.
Yeah,
it's
that's
good stuff. Solid 3 paws.
Yeah.
But next time we're gonna do the sequel to Old Yeller. I didn't know there was a sequel to Old Yeller until a few weeks ago, but there is one, and this is called the movie that I knocked off my microphone. This movie is called Savage Sam, and it is about Old Yeller's son.
I didn't even know Old Yeller had a son.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Well, we're gonna figure this out.
Son
of Old Yeller.
I mean, it looks great to me. I have not seen this or heard of it until very recently.
Looks like a good boy to me.
Yeah.
We'll be the judge of that next time, though.
Savage Sam. He's
Savage Sam.
savage.
So if you want to watch along with us, track down Savage Sam and watch it.
It's gonna be good stuff.
Cool.
You must have studied dancing. You have natural rhythm. Unusual for a whippet.
Thanks for watching episode 52.
Which I guess is going to be the first episode of 2023.
Yes, happy 2023. I hope it's been amazing so far. If you guys want to talk to us, viva@scarecrow.com, 5030 Roosevelt Way, Northeast Seattle, Washington, 98105. Send us a letter or a postcard or a package or whatever. Come into the store, rent some stuff if you're in the Seattle area. If you're not, you can still rent from us, rent by mail.
Rent by mail.
Go to our website, scarecrow.com. All the links to all the shit's below.
Slide into our DMs.
Slide into our DMs. Yeah, I don't know. Watch movies.
Watch movies.
Just watch movies, you guys.
I'm devastated about the little girl from
This is taking a nosedive. Be good to yourselves and your friends. And your
Have a great
family,
holiday
and
season.
Have a good holiday season.
We love you. We love each other. We're very happy to be able to share this show with you all the time. And we wish you an amazing 2023. We wish you an amazing year in physical media.
And we'll be here for it.
And we'll be here for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Happy Viva Physical Media 2023. Bye.
It looks like come Sunday I'll be Mrs. Twister.
For the honeymoon, there are some advantages in being Mrs. Kikowski.
How do you spell it?